So I'm actually getting ready for work, you guys. Funny story, this morning I forgot my keys. I realized when my mom picked up the kids, like, fuck, I forgot my keys. So I was messaging Liz and I was like, hey, like, can you give me a ride to work? Can I carpool with you? Like, I'll give you a little bit of gas, please. I'm just gonna like pin my little hairs back, but I was like, please, like, I'll give you I told Liz, I was like, I'll give you some money for gas, like, but me and Liz live really close to each other, so thankfully, you know, I have that option. I was like, Liz, help me. But she was gonna come. She's like, yeah, don't worry, like, I'll leave by 9. But I already knew by me asking her, like, I was cutting her time short, because me and Liz barely be making it to work on time. Like, we barely make it to work on time, and the fact that I'm asking her to, like, drive to me, which takes time, pick me up and then drive back to work, like, that's an extra like 30 minutes out of her day, and then it takes 30 minutes to get there. So I was like I feel so bad. But luckily I called Andy, and then Andy was like, oh, me forgetting, this is why I can't concentrate, because I'm like, dude, what am I doing? I called Andy and I was like, hey, like, I forgot the keys. And he was like, oh, he said that his dad left to Mexico, and that well, which obviously I just told you guys. So he was like, oh, I think the keys, he left them, so you can probably just take one of the cars. And I was like, period. So I went to go look, and yes, the keys were here. So I messaged Liz and I was like, hey girl, thank you, but I actually have a car and I can make it to work on time now. So I messaged her and I was like, you don't have to rush anymore. And it's so funny because I sent her like the little SpongeBob when SpongeBob is panicking. I'm gonna show you guys, look. That's literally what I sent her, and I was like, that's you, huh? And she was like, I'm dying. What did she say? Hold on. What did Liz say? I'm dead as fuck.
I'm dead for this SpongeBob meme because I definitely was.
She's probably like rushing so bad, and I'm just here chilling. But I was like, I just wanted you to know you don't have to take me no more. But yeah, you guys, I thought for today's video I would do a little story time, a little quick little story time, you know, nothing too crazy. But I wanted to talk about my favorite Christmas and my least favorite Christmas. So I know that was a long introduction, but welcome back everybody. Welcome back to Vlogmas day 21. In today's video I'm actually going to be talking about my favorite Christmas and my least favorite Christmas. So I actually heard this idea, somebody on YouTube who was like giving ideas for Vlogmas, and I was like, you know what, that's a great idea. So yeah, I'm actually going to be doing that little story time. So I'm just going to get right into it. In what was it? Fuck, what year was that? It was 2015. 2015 was my favorite year during Christmas time, and I will include some photos so you guys can see. 2015 was actually one of my favorite years for Christmas because I just felt like everything was perfect that year. We usually celebrate Christmas at my grandma's house, which, you know, we would usually celebrate Christmas at my grandparents' house in El Sereno. It was their old house, but I grew up there. You know, they lived there for about like 25 years, maybe a little bit longer. I'm not too sure, but they did live there for a really long time. So, you know, we would always do Christmas there. That's where I grew up doing Christmas. So we would always do the Christmas there, but this specific year we decided to celebrate Christmas at my mom's house. So everybody came over to my mom's house, you know, we all opened gifts, and my aunt would actually visit from Bakersfield with my cousins. They would come over all the time to celebrate Christmas with us in LA. I remember my grandma came over really early in the morning. I don't think she slept over. I think my grandma came really early in the morning, and I was just waking up, and me and my grandma got these really cute matching PJs. Mine are actually in the closet, but I have my grandma's bag right here. If you guys are not aware, my grandma actually did pass away the day after Christmas. She passed away December 26th at about, it's estimated about like 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. anywhere from that time. She was found, I think, a little bit after 12, around like midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning. But I did actually take some of her clothes, and I had to take these pajamas, you guys, because these pajamas are actually hers, but me and her had a matching set. Me and my grandma had a matching set, so this is her pair right here, and I had to take them from memory. So all this little bag right here is like her clothes. Yeah, so I had to take the pajamas. So I woke up that morning and my grandma was like so excited, because my grandma was a plus size woman. So she was like, oh, you know, like they never have pajamas with footsies. I think those do have footsies on them. So she was like, they never have pajamas with footsies for plus size women. So she was like so happy to have that, to have a pair finally. So yeah, my grandma was so happy to finally have a pair of one-piece pajamas, and so was I. You know, me and her were matching, and I think that's just what made it so much more special. And I like felt it, you know, like me and my grandma loved Eeyore, we loved Christmas, everybody loved Christmas. She like, Christmas was her holiday, so to just share that special moment with her, like I really remember feeling in that moment like so much love. And I remember my grandma came to my room. Oh my gosh, I'm not blending this right at all. I need a buffer brush, sorry. But I remember my grandma came into my room, and my grandma was like, Carissa, can you do my makeup? Because my aunt was still like on her way from Bakersfield. So she was like, can you do my makeup? And I was like, hell yeah. At the time, you know, I was just getting into makeup. So, I mean, not really, but really. So I was like, sure. And black eyeliner and my waterline has always been my thing. So I remember I did black eyeliner on her. I think I did a little bit of like foundation, just a little bit. I just did something like very like quick and, you know, easy. But I remember like my grandma was just so happy, and we were taking pictures. We were taking pictures in the bathroom. And we were just like, you know, in such a good mood, so excited and ready for Christmas. Yeah, like my aunt ended up coming. We opened up all the gifts. I literally, this is how you know it was the best Christmas ever, because I literally do not remember at all what I got for Christmas. Like I don't, because it doesn't matter what you get for Christmas, you guys. It's not about what you get for Christmas. I'm sure you guys already know that, but Christmas is not about gifts. Christmas is about spending time with the people that you love. So I remember feeling that Christmas like just so happy. Like me and my cousin, we were outside taking pictures. We were all like, the whole family was inside. We were taking pictures, like switch. Well, I won't insert pictures, you guys, do not worry. Yeah, that entire like day, we were just so happy to be around each other, which is crazy. It's so crazy because, you know, families always fight and argue, and I don't know, it's always something with my family. But that year it was like so much love, like so much love. Like you could just tell that everybody was like genuinely happy. Everybody was genuinely happy to just be surrounded with each other, and I literally love that Christmas. I love it so much. It's like one of my favorite photos that I have of me and my grandma, to be honest. Like I just remember that day, she felt so pretty, she felt so beautiful, and I remember her just like wanting a bunch of pictures. I remember when I did her makeup, she ended up changing her profile picture on Facebook. She changed it to the picture of her like on Christmas with her makeup done, and I don't know, that was just like honestly one of my favorite Christmases ever, you guys. Like I was so happy, so joyful. But yeah, you guys, that's really just what I remember about that Christmas. Just me and my grandma, the memories we shared, and me and the entire family, we were just like so happy to be surrounded with each other. Another one of my favorite Christmases was when she had just moved to Bakersfield. I remember she was so happy to be in her new place, her new trailer home. So everybody was there, the whole family. We had just did a housewarming party for her too, so we took a bunch of photos, and then it was followed up with like Thanksgiving, which was also followed up with Christmas. So that year my grandma kind of went all out, you know, like we celebrated every holiday that year with my grandma, because she was just so happy to be in her new place. So she invited everybody, and it was just so much fun. Fast forward 2 years later, which would be last year, 2021, was the worst fucking year of my entire life. This Christmas that my grandma had passed away, I remember the year previously. Wow, I wasn't recording, I'm sorry. It's because my camera had died, so I had to change the battery. But this Christmas, you know, every year, let's just be honest, every year I was the one that was like arguing, like, grandma, where's everybody at? Call them, text them, make them come, like, da-da-da-da, like, they need to be here right now. But in 2021, when my grandma had passed away, that Christmas, I remember showing up and she was just like, don't argue, please, like, you know, who cares? She was like, who cares? Because nobody else was there other than my mom and like me and my kids, my family. So we were all there, and I remember telling my grandma that I was mad, and she was like, Carissa, who cares? She was like, let's just spend it with us, you know, let's open up our gifts together. I want to see Melissa open up her gifts and baby boy open up his gifts, and you know, we'll just spend it together, and then when they get here, you know, we could just watch them open up their gifts. And I was like, you know what, whatever. Mind you, every year I'm like, no, like arguing, like texting, where are you guys at? Like, but this year I was like, you know what, she's right, like, let's just spend it together. I was like, you know what, grandma, you're right. So I left it alone and I just spent it with my grandma. We all hung out, we all laughed, and I remember it was such an amazing Christmas. And I remember my grandma was like, oh, I want to see baby Andy, you know, because he's a junior. So she was like, I wanna see him. Like, he was crying so much, and she was like, does he want to come with me? Like, I'll get him from you. My grandma was always oh, I'm gonna cry. And I'm doing water activated eyeliner, so I can't fucking cry. Emergency. Look, if you're gonna cry, bad bitch tip, just fucking close your eye, catch all the tears. I have a feeling I'm gonna be late for work. I'm trying to hurry up, you guys. So yeah, my grandma was always willing to help, like, with the kids, you know, which was so funny because my grandma would always be like, oh, like, I hate kids. But she was just that type of she was just funny, okay? Like, she really didn't mean it. Like, she loved kids, she loved Christmas. My grandma was a very beautiful woman. Like, the things that she stood for, donating and volunteering and putting others before her. When it came to Christmas, you know, the adopt a family, adopt a child, toys for tots, like, you name it, she was doing it. But what I loved about my grandma was that she would always help me with the kids. Like, I mean, she wasn't close by anymore. Of course, she was in Bakersfield, but when she would visit, when she would come, you know, she loved my kids, and my kids loved her. So you know, she was like, I can get him. And at the time, well, he still is, you guys know my son is crazy. These don't match, but I really don't care because I can't be late. I have to start working on my face already. But yeah, my grandma didn't mind helping me out all the time, so that's what I loved about her. She was always willing, like, Chris, I'll help you. So I wasn't too sure, like, is my son gonna go with her? Is he gonna cry? Because literally when my mom picked him up right now, he started crying, like kicking and throwing a tantrum. And he sees my mom, you know, pretty often. I was kind of scared because I was like, he hasn't seen my grandma. You know, he was smaller. He was like one. He was one at the time. So I was like, you know, I don't even think he was one. Yeah, he was actually one at the time. So he was one at the time, and I remember telling my grandma, I was like, I don't know if he'll go with you. You could try. And my grandma was like, yeah, here, like, give him to me. And I was already prepared for him to not want to go. But dude, he went with her. He laid on her chest because my grandma had big titties, like big old watermelon titties, like huge. So he laid on her chest, probably like a pillow. He literally knocked out. He knocked out so fast, and he was like sweating too because it was like hot, and my grandma was wearing like, I think she was wearing, I don't know what she was wearing, but I just remember being so like hot and cuddled up. Like, he was knocked out, he was sweating from his head. And I just remember my grandma being so happy. And I remember taking some photos, which I will insert right here. I remember taking some photos, and yeah, I took those pictures because it was just like, I was so surprised. I was like, wow, like, I have to get this on camera. And it's so crazy because that year too, like, I don't know, like, I was broke, I was depressed, I was going through my own things, you know, like, I really didn't even get ready that Christmas because it was so last minute. You know, I was working retail, so the holiday season was kicking my ass, and I just remember, like, not being in the mood. But yeah, I honestly forgot to take a picture with my grandma that day. Like, you know, I felt like because I was just going through my own shit that, like, I didn't even want a picture because I looked like shit. But I'm glad that I got a picture with my son and my grandma, because now that picture is just, like, obviously, you know, like, I love that picture so much. But anyways, you guys, yeah, we celebrated Christmas, we had a great time, and then, you know, we said goodbye. We're like, bye grandma, you know, we love you. And I remember, oh you guys, I can't cry, I'm already on foundation. Every time we would leave back to LA, my grandparents would always walk us out. And when they walked us out, I remember it was just me and my grandma chilling at the bottom of the steps. You know, we were about to get to the car, and I remember she leaned on me. I wish I would have had this on camera, but I was standing like this and she leaned on me because my grandma was shorter. She's probably like 5 feet 4'9", something like that. So she was shorter, so she was like this to me, and she leaned her head on me. And so I remember my grandma leaned her head on me and she was like, I love you. Sorry guys, I don't usually talk about it because I just can't. But she was like, I love you. And I was like, I love you too. Oh, the tear. I'm about to blend in that tear with this fucking foundation. Yeah, so my grandma, I told her, I was like, I love you too. And we left. We drove home, and she was like, call me when you get home. So yeah, we left, and my grandma was like, call me when you guys get home so that I know you guys made it. So literally, as soon as we got in the car and we were driving back to LA, it was like late at night, and we were driving back, and I told my mom, I was like, literally, I kid you not, I told my mom, I'm like, it feels different. This Christmas felt different. And my mom was like, it did, huh? And I was like, yeah, like, it was so beautiful. It was such a beautiful Christmas. Like, I felt so much love. Like, grandma was just so happy. I was like, she was so happy. Like, she even told me that she loved me, you know? Like, she was so happy, and, like, I feel bad leaving. We went home. I texted my mom, and I was like, yeah, I made it home. Fuck, I'm running late for work. So I told my mom so she could let my grandma know that I was home. And my mom did. My mom let my grandma know. The next day, we celebrated Christmas here in LA because Bakersfield is pretty, like, far up. So my biggest regret that year was not just bringing all of Melissa's gifts, because it was so many gifts. And there was, like, one year where I actually did, I believe it was 2019. I took all of my gifts to Bakersfield, and you know, we had to bring a big ass truck so that we could all, like, have the gifts in there, and, like, the whole family was in there. But this year I was like, you know what, like, I don't want to bring all the gifts over there to Bakersfield, like, it's too much. So I was like, we'll just open up Melissa's gifts here, and then we'll go to Bakersfield, and whatever my grandma got her, you know, we'll just open those up there. So we'll do 2 different Christmases, which is normal for some families, you know, like, some families do that. But that's my biggest regret. I would have loved for my grandma to see all of Melissa's gifts. Another one of my biggest regrets was not bringing my grandma back down here with us, because usually she would come back with us, you know. I wish I would have told her, like, hey grandma, do you want to come down with us so you could celebrate Christmas with us, and we'll bring you back down. Because there was so many years where I would do that, where we would go pick her up for, like, birthday parties, or, you know, I would be like, grandma, I'll go pick you up right now, drive to Bakersfield, spend the night at she would spend the night at my mom's house, and then we would hang out, go shopping, and then I would drive her back to Bakersfield. I have so many, like, memories of me driving my grandma up and down in Bakersfield when she was in the process of moving. I was literally like her little Uber. We were like best friends. We would drive all the fucking time. So we celebrated our Christmas here. Mind you, during this time I still hadn't talked to my grandma yet, you know. The last time I talked to her was on Christmas Day. I just remember we celebrated Christmas here with the family, whatever. My mom was actually talking to my grandma. My mom and my aunt, like, they were the ones that got to talk to her. I think my grandma talked to all of her kids before she passed away that night, which, you know, they have their own stories to tell. This is just my story though. You know, my grandma had, I guess, messaged my mom, and my mom was sending her pictures of Melissa opening up all her gifts here at my house. which by the way makes me so fucking sad that my grandma wasn't here to see that. Like, it really does. I wish I would have took those gifts up, like I said, but whatever. I guess my grandma had messaged my mom, and my mom was sending her pictures like, oh, look at Melissa opening up her gifts. And my grandma was like, oh my gosh, like, she's so cute. I love all of you guys so much. And my mom was like, we love you too. I have to let these tears fall. Yeah, that was it, you guys. That was the last time, like the last message that my grandma had sent to my mom. Like, oh, I love all of you guys. I like said bye to my family. I told my mom and my sisters goodbye. Look at this. Okay, maybe this wasn't a good idea to do this video before work. Like, I really thought I was stronger than this. It's just because I haven't talked about it in a really long time, because then I get like this and I don't like to. I choose to just not think about it, you know? But I really, fuck. I really wasn't expecting this to happen. Fuck. I swear, you guys, I was not expecting this to happen. I went to sleep that night because I was so tired. I woke up in the middle of the night. I slept in Melissa's bed that night. I remember I slept in her bed, and I woke up and I was like, why am I in her bed? Like, what happened? Like, I was so exhausted. I was like, what the fuck happened? Like, why am I in Melissa's bed? And I look at my phone. I grab my phone. I'm like half asleep. I grab my phone and my phone was dead. So something just told me, like, get up and charge your phone. I got up at 4 in the morning to charge my phone. Mind you, if that was right now, I would not get my ass up and charge my phone. I wouldn't. I would just stay asleep. Like, my phone dies all the time, and Andy will wake up in the morning and, like, he'll charge it for me. I usually didn't care, but something told me, like, charge your phone. So I got up and I charged my phone, and I remember I was, like, half asleep. I plugged it in and I was, like, sitting there, like, waiting for it to turn on, and as soon as it turned on and I unlocked it, I seen the messages, like, boom, 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 flying through. Like, we had a family group chat, and in that group chat they were like, she's not breathing, you know, grandma's not breathing, like, I think she's passed away, like, I think she's, like, gone. And, like, they were just ringing and calling, and, like, everybody was calling each other, and I kept ignoring it. Like, I think they were calling each other before and I was ignoring it because they would always call. I don't know what, you guys, that night was like a blur. But I just remember waking up to my phone and seeing, like, all these messages. We've had some scares before with my grandma, so I was like, my grandma? Like, what? Yeah, I remember looking and, like, catching up on the messages because they were all, like, old messages at that time, you know, when I was sleeping. And this all had gone on around, like, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. Mostly around 1, you know. I think the coroner's office went to pick her up around 1 or something like that. So my cousin was updating everybody in the family group chat. The coroner's office is taking her now. And once I seen that, I was like, what? Like, wait, what? So yeah, you guys, that was the worst fucking Christmas I had ever had in my life. Everything just went downhill from there. Absolutely downhill. And it's sad, you know, the day after Christmas was really fucking sad. Like, so fucking sad, you guys. I cannot. That's just the story about the best Christmas and the worst Christmas. There's so many things I wish I would have done different. So many things I wish I would have said, but I'm just glad that me and my grandma ended on a good note, saying, like, you know, I love you. And I don't know, it was just really unfortunate. So yeah, you guys, that was the best Christmas, the worst Christmas. I'm gonna go visit my grandpa this Christmas, and I'm nervous because this just, like, I can't believe that this is our life now, you know. But I know it's a part of the process, like, of life. It happens. I know my grandma, like I said, you guys, in yesterday's vlog, I know my grandma is with the Lord now and she's in a better place. It just sucks for everyone else that's still here, you know, that we don't get to have her with us anymore, because it literally feels like a big chunk of our heart is, like, missing. But yeah, that's the story, you guys. I'm gonna finish doing my makeup and I will come back. Okay, you guys, so that is gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with me. I really do appreciate it. If you guys do have your grandparents still here with you, your grandma, your grandpa, or just anybody in your family, please make sure you guys hold them tight, hug them, kiss them. Try your best not to, you know, be on bad terms, because you just never fucking know when your last day is going to be. I talked a little bit about that in yesterday's vlog, so if you guys do want to go watch it, please make sure you guys do. But again, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really do appreciate it, and for allowing me to have this safe place to just express myself and let some things off my chest, my feelings. But yeah, I really do appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys, and I will see you guys a little bit later or tomorrow, I don't know, but I'll see you guys later. But yeah, toodaloo you guys, I'm about to go to work. I'm running late and I really gotta go.